I'm the realest one that's repping. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest.
Hey yo, what up? It's Flinchwave back at it with a very special subject for our second team builder. That's right. Hashtag save T-Tar. If you didn't know, now you know. What's going on with T-Tar? What's going on with our boy Tyranitar here? Well, if you did not know, because you've been living under a rock or you do not follow any other Pokemon YouTubers, in which case you're watching this video, I really appreciate you guys. Tyranitar is in major threat of going to underuse. Yeah, that is right. Tyranitar, although he's been a staple of the OU tier since Gen 2, since his inception, he is finally at risk of going to the underused tier because he's roughly at like 30 in ranking for usage for the OU tier, meaning he's really in danger of going down. This is a campaign started by the agency. Shoutouts to Blunder, shoutouts to PokeAim, MD, MV, all you boys for bringing this up to our attention. We have to save our boy because without T-Tar, the only Pokemon that's been consistently OU since its inception is Clefable, and we don't want that to happen. And I'm actually not even sure if Clefable was OU in Gen 1, and does it even really count because it changed the typing from normal to fairy, so when you change your typing, it's like, is it even the same Pokemon anymore? Tyranitar has been that boy since Gen 2 with the same set, more or less. However, we did lose Pursuit this generation, so that has been a major downfall to this Pokemon's usage. Not to mention Hippowdon has been the better sand setter, and just for the simple physical bulk, and let's not forget Rock Dark is actually kind of bad typing for this meta, for the simple fact that it is weak to fighting, it is weak to steel, it is weak to a whole lot of types, unfortunately, and you can't afford to have that in this meta. But we're gonna try anyway to save T-Tar by giving it the best set we can. So what is that set? We need to go back to our roots here to try to save T-Tar by really looking at what it was originally used for. This thing's a sand setter, let's be real. At the end of the day, the only reason you would really want to use something like this, other than these wonderful stats, I mean 134 attack, really good, and then that natural bulk, 100 HP, 110 defense, 100 special defense. Speed's really lacking, but it is what it is. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to try to take advantage of that special bulk, that natural bulk in HP, and the fact that our ability Sandstream, and the fact that we're rock type here, will basically give us an assault vest for free, and at 236 that's 354 special defense stat, so we can afford to do no investment here, max investment for defense, and then we're going all the way up to 392 for HP, so we can outspeed no speed Corviknight. That's that special 171, that magic number here. And then why no attack investment, really? Because first of all, if you look at this set, 2 of the moves are status, so we shouldn't really waste that much time. And then one of our attacking moves is Body Press, and that uses our defense in the calculation. So really, we're only going to be using our attack stat for Stone Edge, which can miss. We're going to see how we can make it not miss, but most of the time it is going to miss, unless you're under the effects of gravity, which is going to be kind of the theme for today, really. Gravity plus sand is a really underused strategy that I think can be lethal. So we're going to try to take advantage of that here. So the best way to do that is to kind of explain, usually in a team builder, we would be looking at one Pokemon at a time, seeing what we can link it up, but in this case we're going to have these 3 because they go together. So getting into that, it's your usual Sand Rush, Life Orb, Adamant Drill, with Sword Dance, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Iron Head. Why Rapid Spin, you might ask, instead of Rock Slide? Well, Rock Slide kind of sucks because of the simple fact that it takes away your ability to potentially boost if you need it. So say we lose Sand, if you have Rapid Spin, you can still sweep basically. So we don't want to take that ability away, so we're going to keep Rapid Spin. And then, yeah, 4 in defense, just that's usual. And before we go into our actual T-Tar set, we're going to look at our gravity setter. So, first and foremost, what is gravity? Gravity, for 5 turns, it negates all ground immunity. So, what that's basically going to do is it's going to give us Mold Breaker back on our Excadrill, even though he's Sand Rush. That means we're going to be able to hit Pokemon with Levitate. We're going to be able to hit things that have an air balloon, even. And more importantly than anything, we are going to OHKO Corviknight with Earthquake, potentially, if we're under the effects of gravity. Now, so it's actually better than Mold Breaker, because you're not doing no types of damage with Earthquake on a Corviknight unless you manage to be like, a minus speed nature and they're max speed or something crazy like that. But there's another effect of gravity, and that's actually that it changes the accuracy of your moves to a factor of 5/3. So what does that basically mean? That basically means that a move with 60% accuracy under the effects of gravity has 100% accuracy. And so on and so forth. So that means anything above 60% will always hit, and things below 60% will usually hit still. So even if you go down and say, like, let's say 50%, you're looking at 83.5% chance of hitting. That's Stone Edge, and people use Stone Edge. It's not the best move, but that's actually better odds than Focus Blast. So what's the specialty here with gravity? So most people who are running gravity, they don't take full advantage of what you can do with it. So yeah, there's the whole fact that we can use Earthquake on Corviknight, and that's going to be one big reason why we're going to do this. But there's another way to use this, and that's basically Hypnosis. Hypnosis is broken. Let's be real. Putting a Pokemon to sleep without limitation on the turn, so it's not like rest, it's just going to be 2 turns. I've seen, like it's going to be 3, could be 4 turns of sleep. The point of this set is basically just going to be, we're going to come in, Gravity, Hypnosis, and then the final tech, Transform. Yes, Transform. So why do we have Transform on Mew? Well, A, no one's running this. It's a completely unexpected tech, and quite frankly, that is sometimes enough to catch your opponent off guard, but there's more to this set than that. This actually works as a really good counter against quite a few Pokemon. So say Cloyster comes in, we can just Transform on the Shell Smash. We'll be slower, and then we're at +2, +2 special attack, +2 speed, +2 attack, just like them. And all we have to do is really win a speed tie, and half the time they won't even chance that, because if we don't show an item, they might assume we're Focus Sash or Choice Scarf, like this is some sort of a Ditto kind of set. But of course this isn't Ditto. We're actually going to use Leftovers for longevity, and we're going to run kind of a weird set here. So 243 HP to make it an odd number. That might actually count here, because 404 is a bit too even, and we could get potentially 1 extra Stealth Rock switch in this way. We're going to run all the way up to 300 defense and make it Impish Nature, because we're going to have U-Turn as our only move. I could run Substitute on this for the simple fact that, okay, we could come in, Substitute, Gravity, Hypnosis, then Transform, but that's just asking to get taunted. And I don't really want to put a taunt bait Pokemon here, because especially one that's weak to U-Turn and Knockoff. And Shadow Ball. Very, very, very common moves in Pokemon Sword and Shield OU meta games. It doesn't matter if you're on VGC, singles, even Dynamax. Like, it's just too common to safely run. Unfortunately, Synchronize is our only ability, but it can be used as a status absorber, because we're not really using this for attacks. And the other point is that Transform will more or less negate that. So say we get burned or something like that, we can just Transform on a special attacker and basically negate the fact that we're burned. And if not, I mean, we could just be using this to set up Gravity. Or a very, very nice part about the Transform set for Mew. Let's try to get that. Say they come in with half the team left to make, trying to do some Wish Teleport shenanigans. We can just go in, and now we're Clefable. We can wish past our Excadrill. We could just to our T-Tar. I mean, we used it in the last vid, but we used a Focus Sash set that was kind of whack, and one of my big idols, OP Jellicent, let me know that, and check out his vids, I'll have the link in the description here, just because, like, He's one of the GOATs, man. You got to give respect to the GOATs. Bisharp with black glasses can actually serve as a really good revenger against Rotom Heat if we can't deal with that, and Rotom Wash. Why? Because black glasses is the real threat for Bisharp. None of that Focus Sash nonsense. Stealth Rock is set up all the time. We do not have a defogger yet, and I don't really see us putting one in because, well, now that we have Bisharp, we can take advantage of Sticky Webs, and then every other hazard is really not going to matter to us here. So we're going to go with a similar set as we used in the last vid, which is Max Attack, Adamant, 299 HP, and 144 Speed. Make sure that's the right nature. Yep, that is Adamant, with Swords Dance, Knockoff, Iron Head, Sucker Punch. Now, just to give a quick explanation as to why this spread again. Well, although we only have one form of paralysis so far, we could get another one with something that we transform into. That's actually a really nice thing. So whatever strategy they want to use, we can take advantage of it with transform potentially. So that's one way. But basically, if you have paralysis on your team, if you paralyze an opponent, 212 speed is basically enough to outspeed it unless it's Scarf, because 212 will be faster than paralyzed Dragapult. And you can't paralyze Zeraora, so why bother? Because it's electric type. Meaning that this is a decent enough threat against anything that might come in. If it's Scarf, half the time we can tell that it's Scarf. And if we can't, then they're going to be stuck on one move. We can take advantage of that. And just switch out or revenge it with another threat. So this is going to be a very, very strong breaker for us from here. Let's see. We're very, very weak to fighting. We have 3 fighting weaknesses, 1 fighting resistance in a psychic type, but that's really not enough. I kind of want to use Togekiss because we just used Togekiss in the last vid too, and then we'd have 3 out of 6 from the last one in this one. I mean, I don't really see another really good one because it's going to be that Fairy Flying. We could go with a Ghost, but I don't want to get taken advantage of by Scrappy. Scrappy is that ability that's coming up in the meta lately, where it allows you to hit Ghost with Fighting type. Surfetch and Pangoro run that. And I kind of want that to be our only fighting resist. I kind of want to take advantage of fighting resistances more than immunities, just because of that ability. It has been sweeping me on the ladder a couple of times, and I don't want that to happen again. Yeah, no, we're going to do the Togekiss set, but we're going to run bulkier than we did last time. So what we're going to do instead of never ever use Hustle. Never. Always Serene Grace. So we're still going to go Boots, but this time we're going to only go up to 250 in speed, again outspeeding that Dracovish, and we're going to put the rest of the investment in HP after special attack. We're actually going to go Modest to make it really, really nasty. 40 doesn't seem like a lot, but at 85 base HP with our defense stat and our special defense stat here, that's actually going to go a long way. Minus attack, because we're not going to be using any physical attack moves. And look at that nasty 372. Speaking of nasty, nasty plot, you know what this set is. If you want to see this, how this set was made, you can check out the last video. It's a nasty plot, air slash, ooh, not max. We're not in the Dynamax meta here. And for the last one, we could go Roost, because that's going to give us some longevity, but so far we don't have fire coverage, and we need it. But we're going to, instead of Flamethrower, we're going to go with Fire Blast, because say we're under effects of gravity, Fire Blast won't miss, neither will Air Slash. That could be very, very nice if we manage to get in the right situation where we always outspeed. Now for the last one, we're gonna really try to look at something that can body Dracovish specifically, because I just realized this team could potentially get 6-0'd by Dracovish if they are Scarf, because say they're Scarf and we came in on this to try to Draining Kiss, it dies, then we maybe get the Sucker Punch off here, we won't be able to transform into them, and if Sand's gone, then that's it. So we don't want that to happen. Even if Sand's up and they're bulky for whatever reason, say we got it wrong, we thought they were Scarf and they ended up being bulky banned, then yeah, we could be in trouble. Dracovish in general is like kind of a threat here. So I mean, I didn't really want to end up doing this, but we're going to use the star of the last video. He's my favorite guy, he's my favorite Pokemon, and I know for a fact that I can always take advantage of this thing. But again, just to kind of differentiate it from last video, we're going to change it up. We don't really have major speed control apart from Excadrill here, so we are going to give it some sort of speed control. We're going to forego that air balloon because we are a gravity team, and we're going to go with this similar set, well, basically same moves, but this time we're going to go modest, because that Scarf's going to give us all the speed we need, and now we'll be able to paralyze choice Scarfed opponents unless there's Zeraora. And if there's Zeraora, well, we can take advantage of that with T-Tar, we can take advantage of that with Excadrill, Mew. We are not worried about Zeraora on this set, and of course Grass Knot for Toad. It's going to be a little harder to catch a Toad with Grass Knot here because we can't switch moves, but sometimes they have knockoff, and that would actually help us out here. So yeah, suggested, but then change it to modest because it's 252 for 252, and then yeah, 317 times 1.5. That's enough. That's like a 460 something. Yeah, that sounds about right. So that's going to be the team. Let's give a few nicknames. I noticed I didn't use nicknames in the last one. I'd like to use nicknames because, well, why wouldn't you? They're your Pokemon, they're your set. I call this thing RNGesus. I call this Hooded Justice because I'm a big fan of the Watchmen series, and I call our Bisharp Dark Knight because look at the thing. It looks like a knight, and it's a dark type. It even has the black glasses here. Like, it really fits. And then to explain the other nicknames, guess my set. I think that's kind of cheeky. Wolverine. Also a big fan of the X-Men series, and then the star of the show, hashtag save T-Tar. We gotta let all those boys know on the ladder that that's what we're trying to do. That's gonna be the team, you guys. We're gonna try to ladder up a bit first before we show it off, just to make sure that we're viable, and then we're gonna do a live. Hopefully we can win some games with T-Tar, really show why it belongs in the OU tier, and that's gonna be the team. Thank you guys for watching. I will be linking the live in the description. Hashtag save T-Tar. Later, boys. That's the end of the video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hashtag save T-Tar. Do not let this thing drop to UU with the likes of Braviary and Centiskorch, or even in the UUBL tier where, like, you can see Obstagoon, Primarina, and mons like that. As much as I'd like to see this thing in a BL Knights video, let's try to prevent that from happening. Let's keep our boy in OU. This is Flinchwave. See you next time.